So after the last live chat that I did on the History Underground channel, I had several people, send in questions, and I had a few give me some recommendations that maybe I should do a video on some frequently asked questions that either pop up in the comments on the videos or that popped up on the live chat that I maybe didn't get to address. So anyway, I assembled a few of them together and thought that we would address a few frequently asked questions here on the History Underground channel. Okay, well, I assembled a few of these questions here on the sticky note pad. Some of them are verbatim. Some of them are just kind of like a combination of similar questions. So anyway, here we go. The first question: where did you get your passion for history? I would say that was probably from... I've got two grandpas that served in the military. One served in World War II and was in the Aleutian Island chain. And then I have another grandpa who was in the Korean War, served as a combat engineer. And growing up, my brother and I were always asking questions and hearing stories and things like that about growing up during the Great Depression and what the experience was like in combat. And that combined with my dad had a big passion for the history of the space programs, like with Apollo and Mercury and Gemini. Whenever he was a kid, watched the moon landing live. So I think all of those things together and really just coming from a family of storytellers really kind of sparked that interest and that passion in history for me. Okay, next question. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel? I'm going to throw this in with a few other questions that people have had that are kind of interested in my background. Because there are two elements of my background that kind of intersect together and resulted in the creation of the YouTube channel. So one element would be my background in history education. So I'm a history educator. And then the other would be my background in video production. So for quite a few years now, I've done a lot of work in the outdoor television industry, working on commercials, TV shows, and things like that. And really the inspiration for the channel came from my students. I had filmed a few things at places that I had been and was showing them in the context of a lesson. And they said, hey, you should start a YouTube channel doing this kind of stuff. I kind of brushed it off at first, and then they kept pushing me. So I ended up putting together, some of those first videos, and really, gave it a lot of thought first. What I wanted to do was create something that was useful, mainly for history teachers and for students of history. I wanted to provide a resource where they could, kind of experience some of these different historical places virtually if they couldn't, go there themselves. So yeah, really the inspiration for the channel was educational in nature, but I'm really glad that other people have found value in it. All right, third question. This is another one that I get often, asking, are you prior military? So the answer to that is no. I had one guy who was prior military that assumed that I was as well. And he said that I seem to know a lot of the lingo and some of the abbreviations and things like that. So maybe that kind of gives off the vibe that I'm prior military. But no, I'm not. I just read a lot. I am fascinated with military history though, which you can probably pick up from the channel. Okay, here's another one that I get often. What does your tattoo say? So that is in reference to the tattoo right here on my forearm. That is the Russian word usinovlen, which means adopted in English. And that pulls from a verse out of the Bible and the book of Galatians. I'm going to just paraphrase it here, where it talks about how all of us are spiritual outsiders, and God adopts us into His family. Okay, so the word there, as I said, means adopted. The Russian, I have some pretty meaningful ties to Eastern Europe, hence why I got it in Russian. So anyway, here's another one. Why don't you get a new hat? I have had more comments about this hat right here than probably any other one thing on the channel, especially the first video that I did in Arlington. There were several people who were quite offended by the fact that I wore a cap in that cemetery, to the point where I really kind of became concerned about it, and I don't want to do anything that's disrespectful. So I scoured the internet looking for military etiquette, couldn't find anything about wearing a hat in a cemetery. I even called Arlington twice and talked to 3 or 4 different people and just wanted to make sure. All of them assured me that wearing a cap at Arlington was by no means disrespectful. So it seems to be more of a matter of personal preference, or maybe just something that individuals grew up with and their families had traditions or anything like that. They did, however, say that if I was attending a funeral at Arlington, then it would be proper to remove my cover. But anyway, if the people at Arlington say that it's good to go, I'm going to default to what they say. But anyway, I like my hat. I think my hat's nice. Anyway, we'll wrap up with this one here. And this is another question that I get quite often. How do you travel as much as you do, and do the things that you get to do? I think there's a big misconception that I am independently wealthy, and that all that I do is just kind of travel around to all of these amazing places. As I mentioned earlier, my background is in education, and educators are not exactly known for rolling in piles of money. So to answer the question about how I get to travel as much as I do, a lot of the stuff that you see on the channel is tied to other trips that I'm doing that might be more business related. So for example, in Washington, D.C., that whole Washington, D.C. series, I was out there with the U.S. Naval Academy. They had a program where they were bringing in, I guess you would maybe call them influencers of some sort. They're trying to boost their numbers in the Midwest. Anyway, they flew me out there for this program. So my travel was pretty much paid for on that trip. So that saved a lot of money. Whenever I went to Europe, went to Normandy and some of those other places in France and up into Belgium. I also do historical tours every once in a while, like leading groups to different places. The company that I was operating through was doing a training for tour leaders, so they flew my wife and I out to Paris, and then we ended up staying like an extra 4 days, I think, and then filmed all of that content that you saw on the channel. So again, that knocked out a big chunk of the cost. I also do quite a bit of side jobs to buy equipment and to help offset the costs of travel. Also have, this wasn't even my idea, but whenever I started the channel, had people reaching out saying, hey, can you get a Patreon so that we can support what it is that you're doing? We really like what you're doing with the History Channel and the education and everything like that, which floored me. So the people on Patreon also help out quite a bit. As a matter of fact, right now there is a website that is being built, and my future plans is to be developing educational material that teachers can use in conjunction with the videos to educate their students. And the money that is being donated on Patreon is going to that. Kind of along with that, I've had several questions about like brand collaborations with the channel. So for example, you may have seen Origin in several of the videos that I've put out. And to be honest, that's just because I I legitimately love that company and what they stand for and what they're doing and the products that they make. But I have had several companies reach out to me over the past year proposing like financial sponsorships for the channel. And to be honest, it would have been easy money, and it's money that I definitely could have used. But in every one of those cases, I ended up turning them down. In some cases, it was because it just wasn't really a good fit. Like for example, I had an adult website reach out to me and wanted to sponsor the channel. I guess they really liked it, but that wasn't going to work at all. And in other cases, the brand maybe wanted me to do like a 30-second commercial dropped in the middle of the video. And to me, that would have just felt inauthentic. And if I do anything, I want it to be real. And I want it to be, something that I believe in, and that, I don't know, that you can trust me, that, just like one friend to another recommending a product. So anyway, I'm never going to do anything just for money. So whenever that comes to, doing stuff for the channel, maybe we'll do some brand collaborations in the future. And whenever we do, I want to make sure that it's right. So I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent there. But anyway, I'll probably do another one of these question videos at another point. Had a lot of gear questions and things about like camera techniques and kind of like behind the scenes stuff with how I do things in preparation for the episodes. So I might do a separate video on that in the future. That might be interesting for some of the gearheads out there. But for everyone who watches the channel, thank you. It is appreciated more than you can possibly know, that you're taking an interest in some of this historical content. If you have a friend, or if you know somebody who you think might benefit from the content on here, or can maybe use a little bit of extra historical knowledge, feel free to share some of these videos out. Encourage them to subscribe, and we'll see what we can do about expanding historical knowledge here on YouTube. But till the next video, thanks.